Hey Bees, I'm Marie from Humblebee and Me, and today in honor of Valentine's Day, we are making this beautiful, intoxicating rose salve. It smells so good. It's a lovely soft salve with just a hint of pink coloring. It gets its scent from rose wax, but then also some labdanum and some benzoin resins. Oh, it smells so good. Like seriously, I catch myself sort of like, I'll have some on my hands and I'll be doing something and suddenly, what's that? It's my hands. And sort of so on and so forth. And it's like, it smells so good that it's distracting. And if that's not a great endorsement, I don't know what is. I'm using Cera Bellina in this salve instead of a more standard like a beeswax or a candelilla wax. So Cera Bellina is a modified beeswax and it allows us to create oil gels, which are super cool. That means that this has like the neatest consistency. I'll show you here. It has like, it makes little peaks and you can kind of dab your finger on it and it's really quite lovely. And then it spreads out beautifully and is wonderfully soft. So if you are a fan of soft salves, this is definitely your jam. Despite the inclusion of the rather fancy sounding Cera Bellina, this is actually very simple to make. This is a, measure, melt, stir, pour kind of salve. So come on, let's get started. We'll begin by putting all of our ingredients in heat-resistant glass measuring cup. So in here I have 5 grams of Cera Bellina, 4 grams of mango butter, 1 gram of rose wax, 14 grams of fractionated coconut oil, and 5 grams of pomegranate oil. So now we're going to pop this heat-resistant glass measuring cup in a saucepan to create a water bath. So this is just a small flat-bottom saucepan that has about an inch of water in the bottom of it, and I'm going to go put this on the stovetop over medium heat for everything to melt through. So after about half an hour, everything has melted through. So we're going to remove our measuring cup, ooh, that's quite hot, from our water bath and set it aside here. So we'll need to stir this reasonably continuously as it cools to get that lovely sort of gel-like texture that we get from using Cera Bellina. So before we get too far into encouraging it to cool, I'm going to add a little bit of vitamin E here. Just go for a drop or two. And a couple drops of this liquid carmine dye. This is obviously completely optional. This is just an aesthetic touch because I like my rose salves to be a little bit pink. But if you don't want to use it, don't. So that was 2 drops, and that's a lovely pink color, but that won't be strong enough to color our skin, which is what we want. So at this point in time, if you wanted to add another essential oil to complement the rose scent, you absolutely could. So I think I'm going to add a little bit of benzoin and some labdanum. That's about 1.5 blobs of benzoin there. Give that a stir. And some labdanum. This stuff is also very viscous, so difficult to measure in drops. Ends up being more blobs. So I call that about 1.5 blobs as well. How's that for scientific? So other scents that I find pair really nicely with rose include cardamom. Some citruses do as well, so something like a bergamotine-free bergamot, or let's say a cubeba, which is citrusy but not photosensitizing, would also be a good choice. So now that I have all that blended in, I'm going to remove the cloth to stop insulating this from the countertop, which is a little cooler, to encourage this to cool and thicken and solidify, and then we shall stir as we wait for that to happen. Okay, so that's thickened up to the point where we know it's not going to settle down and solidify into something really solid, and we'll keep this nice soft gel state. And so you can kind of tell when you can draw your spatula across the bottom there and it's quite sort of pudding and gel-like and more solid than not. then we're ready to pop it in our tin. Okay, so I'm gonna leave that to set up for probably an hour or two. I've got some errands to run, and when I come back, we'll take a look at the final cooled consistency. So it's been a couple hours, and we can check out the consistency of this. And it's perfect. It's exactly what I want in a nice soft salve. So you can really start to see, when you do this, how this is an oil gel, those lovely little sort of pull marks. It's quite fun to play with. And then on application to the skin, you can see it's not at all pink. And it sinks in quite quickly thanks to the really light fractionated coconut oil and the mango butter in there. Also smells absolutely fantastic. So thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe and check the description box below for the full written recipe and the link to the recipe on my blog, where you will also find links to all of the ingredients that I used today. And I will see you next time.